Hey everyone, welcome to another week. So this week we'll be moving forward with hopefully creating our own characters. I'll be looking at your work, I'll be critiquing your work, and telling you what things may need to be improved, if anything. I'm sure there will be things, and that's totally fine. This is our first go at it. But my goal this week is to create at least 3, just, focus on the face. You don't have to worry about a body. Focus on the facial features, whether you want a big beard like me, whether you want it to be balding, what color the hair, is it curly hair, is it kind of puffy pointy hair, what type of facial expression could they be making, and continue to look at his work and look at his characters to kind of gain inspiration for yours. Maybe you could take the facial features of one character and the hair of another, kind of mix and match things. Or you can create something completely original, but again, we want to focus on the same similar features. So when we talked about that in the worksheet, it's those eyes, how there's kind of 2 different ways to present the eyes. The eyebrows are always kind of protruding out. The hair is kind of one solid color with a very slight gradient. Mouth, nose, the noses are a little weird, but they're very similar. So you have a lot of room to kind of run with. You do not have to, as I said, look at his characters to gain inspiration. If you have an idea already that you want to run with, go for it. I encourage you. But we want to keep the style that the Kiwi guy does, okay? That designer, that German designer. So that is that. So I'll be showing you a couple different ways to create a character. I'll be showing you one way to kind of start it off, and that's with drawing some basic facial features first, and then from there allowing the creativity to flow. And again, when I show you how to do something, that's one way. If you have your own way of doing something that you think is a little bit easier, by all means do it that way. I just like to give my students one option. I feel like sometimes that's the easiest way to go, but if you find something else is working for you, then run with it. I'm making this video a little early, so I haven't seen drawings yet, but I am excited to see the drawings, and I'm excited to also move forward in this assignment. So let's get into the demonstration. So like I said in the first little part of the video, it might be a good idea to look at one of these characters and kind of draw inspiration from it, right? Everyone looked at this one. Well, most of us looked at this one. Some of us took the liberty and looked at a different one and decided to attack that, and that's totally fine. Looking at these characters, it also wouldn't be a bad idea, wouldn't be a terrible idea to go to his page, click on that. This is kind of all of his work on Behance. And you could even go to a different project that he did. Remember, we're doing it in his style. So it doesn't have to be just this project, but we don't want to do, we're not working on the pixelated things. You could do something like this if you wanted to, a more animal type creature. Let's stay away from the dinosaur. Something like this would be all right. But what I'm going to do, that's cool too. Let's see. I'm a little curious to see what this is. I haven't looked at it. Oh, I think actually one of your fellow classmates actually decided to take on this one, and that's perfectly fine. It actually looks very similar to that one. Anyways, I am just going to reference this one, okay? And it's totally fine if you do that as well. I suggest you do it. That way, we're all kind of working in the same area at least. I have decided that I want to do a somewhat of a self-portrait, make the character kind of look like me. So I'm going to use some characteristics of this dude right here. Thankfully, and hopefully it stays this way for quite some time, I still have my hair. So that is going to be one thing that I'm going to change. Right now I have my quarantine beard, so I'm going to draw in a bigger beard. And so that's basically, this is what I'm going to be basing my drawing off of moving forward. So in the next portion of this video, you'll see me start off very similar how I started off last time. However, obviously I'm just going to add these glasses and change it up a little bit. Okay, the goal is to create 3 different characters. Okay, 3 different ones, and then moving forward, we are going to decide which one we should use for the final portrait. Okay, so again, we're doing 3 drawings. Just again, stick with the head. Doing 3 drawings of the head, and we are not going to add color this week. Okay, because I'm requiring you to do 3 different drawings. You don't have to add color to all 3. If you wanted to add color to all 3, if you're really in the groove and you got all 3 drawings done, you say, you know what, I'm really digging this. I got some good vibes going. Feel free to color. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that is not required. Okay, so let's dive into the actual demonstration. All right, so like I said, I'm going to draw a version of the character I showed you. I'm not really going to be talking too much about how to draw it, because that's what the last video was. I'm going to be more or less talking about how to make it your own character, okay? How to take an existing drawing and then change it a little bit to make it your own, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off drawing the eyes. And last week we also started off drawing the eyes, and I did say, you don't, right now I'm just going to do the outline of the frame, okay? Work my way inside out, as I said last week. I said start with the eyes, and again, everything I say is more of a suggestion than me demanding you start with the eyes. I just like to give my students one option, the way I think things will be easiest. However, if you find it is a little bit easier a different way, then if you find it easier that it's starting with the mouth and then moving out, you can do it that way. But please remember, we always should be drawing inside out, okay? Because you never know how things are going to take its shape unless you draw the inside of those things first. And you're always relating things to other things in the drawing, objects to other objects, okay? So right now I'm trying to create a nice even line for these eyeglasses. Create these eyeglasses. Got a little kind of bridge right here, not too big. I'll worry about erasing that later. And another thing to remember is it's very important to be drawing light, right? So remember to be drawing light, because when you go to erase things, you want it to be nice and easy. And when you go to add color, you do not want to see that pencil underneath the color. I think this part right here, the cheek part, is very fun to draw. Really kind of brings it together and makes those cheeks form that 3D kind of appearance of the smile. Little subtleties like this in drawings that really bring things together. And again, what's cool to think is that this artist he wasn't looking at pictures like we are to create these characters. These characters he created himself. All those cartoons that you watch, if you watch cartoons, I don't even know if you watch cartoons, but all those cartoons that people watch and that I watched growing up, the artists came up with those characters, and I think that's very cool. One of my favorite cartoons was Hey Arnold. I don't know if any of you have watched that. That was kind of, not back in the day, but back when I was growing up. And to think of those characters is quite creative. So I got his nose done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause a little bit. I'm just going to go a little bit further. I'm going to draw his mouth. and probably, you know, some outlines of his face and things like that. And then when I come back, I'll show you how I'm going to take the drawing that I'm looking at and make it my own. Alright, so we're back. So I got this far. And if you want to rewind backwards in the video to see what I was working with, I'll post a picture of in the assignment section to show you what I was working with, so you can just go back and forth between that. But I basically did eyes, nose, mouth. I got to the cheeks, did the ears, and eyebrows. Well, you know, basically just named everything that's on the paper. But I didn't do the little goatee thing he has, and I didn't do the top of his bald head because I want to do my beard and my hair. Okay, I'm not bald. Again, and that's because I'm trying to make it somewhat like me. I hope this doesn't look like me. It's quite fugly, but you know, I'm just showing you how you can approach this drawing. Okay, so I want to make the beard a little bit bigger on the bottom, but not so bunchy up top. So what I am going to do is I am going to go like this. Kind of have it go down. And then I actually want it to go up on the cheeks a little bit as well. So I'm just going to continue that curve. Looks like I went a little bit too far down here. And to me, this is the fun part. It's like you kind of dressing up your character now. I'm going to have it go to the ears, so I want to erase this. I'm going to erase the cheeks now because I'm going to form my beard. And I just want to kind of keep that little bubbly type feel. Maybe one more down here. Go like that, and then I'll come around like this. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. So I got my beard down, and now I kind of have like a little flip over type, comb over type thing with my hair. So I'm going to keep the sides of it fairly tamed, not so wiggly. And I'm going to make it flipping over to this side. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to just put a little line here that kind of is like the part in my hair. I'm going to have it going kind of soft curves to that point. Maybe I bring it like that. Yeah, to reference that, what's it called? That little part. And again, everything is, when you create these bubbles, like type things in pretty much everything, there's always like, even in the eyebrows, they're extended, right? They're not just solid shapes. You see the lines that are made through them. And that's just, again, adding to his style, which we want to mimic his style. You know, we're not copying, we're just creating our own characters using his style. It's just like if we were to look at, you know, a Van Gogh painting and copy his strokes, or, you know, look at, what's another good one? You know, Monet and do flowers or something like that. But this is the same thing. So now I want to kind of have my hair falling off to the edge over here. So I'm just going to kind of, and again, I'm drawing light because I'm anticipating that I'm not going to be happy with the first style I do it, and I'm going to want to adjust some things. That's okay. So I'm going to have this go in like that. Maybe in and around. So I have that kind of part type thing. It almost looks like he's wearing a Santa hat, so I'm going to have to do something different here. I'm going to have this going that way. I'm going to have this going up. Another one going up. Maybe one like that. So again, I'm not happy with that. It looks like I'm wearing a hat. So I'm going to erase.
just like you would. Maybe I'll come down like this, and I'll just do one of these. I still gotta show that my hair, ooh, I don't like that hairline. It looks pretty receding to me. Maybe I'll have the hairline coming from here, going behind the eyebrows, and then it going up to connect with that part right here. Then just going to add some other shapes on the inside. Trying to plan out where I may want it. First I want to outline the sides of my hair, so I'm just going to go like this. Have this coming down a little bit more. So you see that shape. See that shape. And now you can kind of see my hair forming. And again, color helps with everything. It'll be much easier to kind of see the hair with color. But for right now, we are just focusing on the drawing because we want to spend more time on these drawings, creating these characters. The coloring part is, it's not easy, but it's the easier part. So I'm pretty happy with the way that hair looks. I think I would want to add some details with the color as far as shading or whatnot. Maybe, I wonder if I added like something like having, maybe not. But what if I kind of extended a line in here and that going down? Yeah, I think that looks a little better. So just that line, I think, gave it enough, just that little bit extra where I just think it looks better now. So this is my drawing of myself. Give him a little kind of shoulder type thing. You don't have to do this, I'm just doing it for right now. I think we will do kind of like the bust though, so we would add a shirt to it, but I'll go over that next week when we complete our final portrait. So the goal is, let me see if, yep, you can see that good. The goal is to do 3 drawings of 3 different characters. And when I say different characters, don't just choose a character to copy. Choose a character and change something about it. Change the nose, change the hair, change the facial features, change the way the eyes look. You know, you could even think about putting sunglasses on them. You can do these type of eyes or the type of eyes we reviewed last time. Notice in the image that I copied, in this image, I added this eye a little bit different to this to kind of make it a little more wacky. I also didn't want to have just 2 teeth, so I added more teeth. So it's little subtleties like that that will make it your own drawing rather than just purely copying, right? Think about mix and matching. Think about taking the nose of one character, the eyes of the other, and the mouth of a third and combining them together. So you're making your own character, but you're taking 3 different characters and kind of merging them together in order to create your own character. So there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. Again, the final submission for next week, I want to see 3. Okay, I'm going to push back the due date till Thursday, being that it's the holiday weekend. I don't know if some of you may have plans of doing something, so I don't necessarily want to, you know, intrude on those. If you do, you all have been working very well. The drawings for this week that were due this week, I got to tell you, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I thought I would have to do a little bit more review, but you know, you'll see in the critique video that everyone was pretty successful in that. So that's what I like to see. This brings up more challenges because you are not necessarily looking at everything you're drawing. You're also trying to create things purely out of your head, right? I wasn't looking at any hair that looks like this, and I wasn't looking at any beard that looks like this. That came from my own imagination and my own creativity. So that's the more challenging part. It's always more difficult to draw something without looking at anything rather than just copying something. So that's the challenge for this week. I hope this video was good and it explained everything that I am expecting. If not, please message me. You all been doing a great job with that and following directions. I'm very happy. I gotta say, I really have no complaints with my middle school classes. So keep it up, and I look forward to seeing your original drawings next week. Remember, 3 of them. Thumbs up.